Okay. Hi everybody. First of all, I'm terribly sorry about this thing. I had a doctor's appointment at the same time, and they're ordering me all kinds of cool drugs. So when the time is right, I'm going to make my own choice about going home. I don't see necessity of going through a tremendous amount of pain and agony like I'm going through now, and having that continue indefinitely until my body just expires. So I could done with the help of a few of you guys putting together this concoction, man. They haven't got a fucking clue. Anyhow, Steve asked me to talk, and I didn't think I had anything coming up today. It's not exactly been a busy life lately, but it's filled with doctor's visits and all kinds of nasty shit. So that's just where it's at. Um, you know, it's an interesting thing when you look back at your life and you realize that this is it. This is the end of the road. This is how far you're going. Um, the dreams you had of putting things together or doing this or doing that, they all don't matter because that's all they were, were just dreams. But they were wonderful dreams, and some of them materialized. And in that materialization, it meant life for me, and it meant life for an awful lot of other people. Um, it's a very funny feeling, really, to speak at your own death, really, and know that you're saying goodbye to people you love. There isn't anything in my life that I don't like. You know, there used to be so many things I didn't like about my life. Now I can't think of one thing, and I owe that to an amazing way of life, a way of life that's beyond anything I can tell you about. It really is. And if you're missing out on it, and so many are, please don't. You're cheating yourself out of the most amazing blueprint for life that God has ever drawn up for a man, or perhaps that man has ever drawn up for his God. But we did it together, and we still do it together. I'm always interested when I read about this program for non-atheists. And there are two types of people in the world. One are called theists, and these are people that don't buy the conventional line. I think I would be one of those. And then there are theists, and theists are those that buy the party conventional line. And I'm certainly not one of those. So I'm not a theist, a religious person who's bound by man-made rules and how many genuflections you do on the weekend and how many you don't. I tried that method and it didn't work for me. I've always had great problems working with people. At this stage of my life, I can speak openly now. What are you going to do to me anyhow? At this stage of my life, there's two things that I really look at. And it's people who believe, religious people especially. And you've often heard me say that religion is really an accident of your birth. And it truly, really is for most people. I mean, if I had not left Ireland, I would more than likely still be a Catholic because that's what you did when you were there. And that's what you did when you were born there. And in Russia, you'd be Greek Orthodox, and that's what you do there. And in India, you might do 80% Hindu and 10% Buddhist, or 20% Buddhist, or 30% Buddhist, or whatever it is. In other words, you're going to follow what you're conditioned with. And if you get to be very lucky, you might truly find out who you are and what you're looking for. Because if you want to know God, Know yourself. That's all you got to know, is know yourself. To thine own self be true. You know, this deal isn't about drinking so much as it is about living. And it isn't about dying so much as it is about joy. And it isn't about death, it's more about life. Although death is certainly a part of our life. God's grace is an amazing thing. It's a power that flows over everything, flows in a majesty and a flood that just leaves you gasping sometimes. Because of its reality, not because about its dream or its storylines or the little stories your parents told you to frighten you and before you went to bed at night or whatever. Religion, unfortunately, has become about all of those things. I am a spiritual person. And when I first came into AA for the first time, I was able to say, God, I offer myself to thee. And I realized immediately that the problems were in me, that somebody else was telling me what God was about. God is not about anything other than you. We are that magnificent thing within ourselves. We are God within ourselves. So you're going on a long, long journey, a journey in which you never start, and a destination at which you already arrived. God stands around us always with his peace, with his joy. I thought he was making a real mistake here, but apparently he's not. It's time. And you know, when God says it's time to go home, it's time to go home. Nobody's going to stop you. And you make that decisions that the conscious, the unconscious, and the superconscious does. And you may not even be conscious that you've made that decision, but you've made it. You've made the decision to go home. You know, I came into this world wanting like crazy everything this world had to offer. And by God, I got a good deal of it too. And now I leave this world not wanting too much this world has to offer. Except one thing, and that's the love I got from my friends. That's the only reality. When you get to the stage where it's over, you realize that the only things that really matter in this life were those little, small, unremembered acts of kindness and of love. They're the only things that matter. Now is now. It's not tomorrow. It's not yesterday. It's now. It would be ridiculous to say I'll never see any of you again because that's so untrue. Some of you already know the reality of that. Many of you will before the end of your lifetime. Our world is changing. And it's not changing in the sense of being changed. It's changing because it's being changed. It's being changed by some very evil forces. And I'm not going to attack evil forces because you don't get rid of darkness by throwing more darkness on top of it. You get rid of darkness by bringing in the light. You can see the light of one candle in the middle of the New York Yankee Stadium. One lighted candle. So don't underestimate the power of your light. And don't give it away to anyone. Don't ever give your power away. You are an unlimited being of incredible power. I know it. I'm an alcoholic. I want to wish you all the best for your love, your kindness. Your demonstration of love. Not your talk about. I want to tell you I got the least from those I expected the most of. And I got the most from the least of those that I was expecting from. My blessings, my love to all of you.